Welcome to this look at a new-ish mod map to Farming Simulator 25 with me, MrSealyp. Ladies and gentlemen, Gnadenthal makes a return to Farming Simulator 25. This is by Iron Thunder, 295.04 megabytes download with no required mods to download. We'll get up to the start farm at a moment and I'll show you the map in just a moment. This comes with an absolute ton of extra crop types. If we go into this menu and we scroll down to the bottom, now this may come with a problem, but we'll see. Alfalfa, clover, rye, triticale, millet, spelt, mustard, lavender, poppy, flax, buckwheat, and lentils. And you can see the different colours all around the map because we've got other, all the extra crop types that have been put in. As far as planting and harvesting, this is where I've run into a bit of a problem. Planting, most of them are planted using a seeder, or seeded, however you want to put it. And then if we go from there and we go to planters, it's the lavender that goes in using a planter. So pretty much everything is regular crop type and then a planter for the lavender. If we come out of there and we go to our harvester headers, most of it is harvested using a regular harvester header, but lavender's not on there. So off camera, I thought, oh, I better test it because I need to work out what we do that with. Alfalfa and clover are grasses, so you can do those. I think clover, I'm sure clover is. So that's grasses, no problem at all. Now I remember doing a map tour. Was it a Poor Boy mod map? I can't remember now. And there was a lavender harvester because it did it differently. It had a separate harvester. So I grabbed a regular harvester and header and I grabbed a mower, took it out to the lavender field, and the lavender field wasn't ready to harvest yet, so I sped up time. And the curiosity of that was, now I don't know if this is a problem since the 1.7 update or it's a problem with the map. Again, I mean, we're in that situation. There are too many variables. I can't say the map's broken because it could be the 1.7 update. I can't say it's that because it could be the map. I don't know. And I skipped through. It was on dark green, so I thought, okay, next month, golden, ready to harvest. I skipped through 9 months. But here's the thing. It wasn't just the lavender. The lavender never got to a point where it said ready to harvest. At all. And even before that, I thought, well, okay, maybe it doesn't. And maybe you're supposed to harvest it with a mower before that. I tried a mower, tried the regular header, nothing. So then I went round and I picked up some other fields with other crops in. That, again, 9 months on, hadn't come up ready to harvest. That included lavender, the alfalfa, buckwheat, spelt, and flax. Now, that's not to say there aren't others, but the fields I purchased that had those crops in never fully grew, never went fully mature, ready to harvest. Now, if you're not having a problem, that's brilliant. I don't know if it's too many crop types added in. Like I say, I'm not sure what the problem is, but that's what I encountered. So I just thought I'd pass on that information just to see. So the map, as we've just seen, looks like this. Now, there's an image I'm going to show you in a moment because pretty much everything is purchasable. I don't think we have we go across to farmland. We can't buy the roadways, but all of the plots, and we've got small, mediums, and large. And as you would expect, I don't think we've got any. They're not mega expensive. I don't think we've got any up into the millions. Just trying to think. I don't think there were there? But like I said, we have got some starting there at 151 grand. We've got some smaller fields here as well in the 40s, which is great. So we've got small, mediums, and large. On New Farmer, what do we start with? Well, we start with this main farm plot, this field here, and we start with this plot here, which has got our house on it, and we've got a pickup. Now, it does say in the description as well. Sorry, I've got a real frog in my throat today. I hope I'm not getting ill. All of these plots here, and all of these plots through the town, every single one of these is purchasable, and there are 40 plots that all have a sleep trigger and wardrobe trigger on them. Every single one of these can be purchased. I'll buy one. There you go. Farmland 81. Buy that. Sleep trigger. So I'll show you an image in a moment. I went round and I bought them all. But the thing about that as well is, because they are separate buildings and the outhouses and garages and stuff like that, you can sell them all. So you can sell all the buildings, all the stuff on there as well. I'll talk about slot count in a little while as well. We do have some plots which I am going to purchase. You can see I put some money in. I'm on New Farmer, and I did it so I set 1 million, but I did put some money in using government subsidy signs. If I buy that plot there, 105. If we buy, now this is where these things get a little bit more interesting. If we buy this plot here, 74, and do that. That trigger comes up again with a trigger there. We buy this one here and do that. That one's a bit more expensive, as you saw, because that one's got some extra bells and whistles on it. What other plots had extras on? Oh, this one had a barn to the side of it with an extra. It's an extra barn. This one's got a barn on it as well. So again, if you want some shed and barn space, the curiosity, I think on the previous version of the map as well, was this one here. If you buy this plot here, I think it's one of the few that doesn't actually have a sleep trigger on it, but it does have a large barn and a large shed to the side. Again, big field, so you can do whatever you want with. And then we got a whole load up here. All of these can all be purchased as well. And then we got this one here, plot 11. We'll buy that. That's like a farmyard, contractor's yard with a silo on it as well, which we will get to later on. So what I'll do is come out now, and actually I suppose I could overlay it on here, couldn't I? Yeah, I'll overlay it on here just so you can see that image of them all bought. And there you go. So that's the map, you know, sort of, pretty much. We'll go around and have a look. Most of the stuff is centered around the town area, the houses area, up the main road and then to the north. All the stuff is just fields all around the outside. I did go around buying up a few plots here and there. This one here, for example, just to double check there weren't any sell points or triggers or anything like that. Like this one here, if we buy that one as well. See, it doesn't hurt to double check. So I thought if that one's got a sleep trigger or a house or something on it, because it looked like there's a little building on there. But there are a few little plots knocking around. So let's grab our pickup. Yes, I'm not too sure. This was one of the few maps. Again, I'm on that. I'm catching up on the maps that all released last week because I was away. This is map 4 of 8. And this one I was prepping this quite late last night. I did 3 yesterday. And thought I would try and catch up. Right, we'll just stop here a second. What else I want to say? There are 80 collectibles. They are little maple leaves on the sides of buildings and stuff and posts, and you'll see a red maple leaf. If you collect the red maple leaf, you get paid out bonuses. There are 50 of these. The productions and stuff are base game things. And again, if we go into this menu, which I've started to do a lot more now. Oh, contracts, I remember that. We talked about crops. Contracts are available, as you can see there. The other problem I had as well, when I skipped ahead to try and get those crops to grow, all the contracts vanished. Didn't have a single contract. There were loads of fields that were ready to harvest. There were loads of fields that needed cultivating, and I had nothing coming up at all. Maybe because I was on 1 day months. Maybe I needed to change it to 2 or 3 day months for that to be a little bit more relevant, I guess. But I don't understand. See, people have said to me many times before, it's because you're on 1 or 2 day months, that's why you're not getting contracts. But surely if the game is set up that you can run it from 1 day up to 29 days, 27 days, whatever it works out, it shouldn't preclude you from getting contracts if you decide to go 1 day months. I personally believe, but that's just my own feeling on the matter. If we come down to here, so there we go. So available on the map, we've got a bakery. There you go, fairly standard. Cereal factory, fairly standard. The dairy, again, fairly standard. The one that's different is the grain mill, because the grain mill has got a whole load of extra crop types. So we've got a millet that's part of the map, again, if you can get it to harvest. The rye, spelt, triticale on there, so they're all extra to produce flour. We've then got our oil mill, which gives us the ability to do mustard oil. And then sugar mill is fairly standard as a sugar mill. So those are all available on the map. But again, the grain mill, we get up there, that does come with a slight curiosity. So here's our dairy just here. That yard that I purchased over to the right there, you can see the shed. That has got a silo on it as well. Standard in-game silo, 200,000 litre. Not multi-fruit, standard crop types. So there are these, in some of the yards there are larger sheds. Most of them are just houses. Some are houses with, there you go, there's a silo on this little plot here. What's that, plot 105, something like that. A lot of these houses here are just houses. Some have garages, some have sheds behind them, smaller ones. As we go further up the map, there are a lot of houses that have fencing around them. You can sell the fencing as a whole. It can all be sold. and some have got little plant pots out the front. They can all be sold. Some have got garbage bins or rubbish bins out the front. They can be sold as well. So pretty much all the buildings on plots that you can purchase can be sold. So this is the start farm on New Farmer, and this is the plot just here. So this plot here is 632,160. The field that comes with New Farmer on the side of it is 138. So, you know, let's say farm management start from scratch, you'd have to have a think about, you know, what bits and bobs you're going to want to buy. But here's the thing, slot count then, 1,155, not too bad. The map's pretty flat, not a huge amount on it with regard to trees and that kind of stuff, but, you know, 1,155. On farm management start from scratch, it's 1,000, because you don't start with any of the equipment or machinery you will see as we go around this yard. You don't start with the pickup, nothing at all. But all of the buildings and stuff are still here, as are all of the houses that are on the map, which can be removed. So you can get that slot count even lower than 1,000. I didn't try, being that there were 40 houses that would all have to be done, plus all their separate things as well. But you will definitely be able to get the slot count lower than 1,000 if you want to. But we do start with a fair bit of equipment in here as well. Various different seeders, planters, harvesters. Actually, no, we start with a seeder but not a planter. And that's a potato planter. Fertilizer and lime spreader. Cultivators. Potato harvester. I've lost my pickup just over here. We do start with, just here, 3609 grain bins. That puts us at 3.3 million, because they're 1.1 each. We've got a taking out auger and we've got a putting in auger that we start with. We have got some front loader gear, and in here we've got our, this was the tractors, if I recall, there we go. Harvester, 3 John Deere tractors. This is the second or the third map that's been a John Deere farm that I've done. We have got a fuel point just up around here, just there. It's got 5,000 litres in it, but it will hold 25,000 litres if you want to buy it. And then you've got space further up here if you want to add anything else on. Great. If you want to remove buildings, you can. Big old weeder, harrow type doodad. I think one of these had something and one was like empty, if I remember correctly. There you go. So trailer, header and header trailer just there. And I think this one had nothing in it, if I recall. There we go. Empty. Right. Now, another one of the small plots we purchased that had a house trigger on it also had another trigger, which was a greenhouse. So this plot just to the side here we purchased. If we come back to the map, we are at this plot here. So this one has got a small tarp greenhouse as well as the sleep and wardrobe trigger just here. Again, removable if you want to remove it. I'm trying to think, there are some changes from the previous version, because I'm pretty sure, again, could be misremembering, I'm sure this was a chicken coop on the previous version when you bought that plot there. I'm sure it had a chicken coop on it. So again, Cutler Farms, and then this was that yard that had a lot more going on in it. So shed space, again, all removable. 3 solid fertilizer bins, each will hold 60,000 litres. Come over there, we can refill them. There we go. And taken out. And then here we've got 5 3609 bins. 5.5 million litres. And again, we've got our augers across the way. So if you need some extra bin space, but again, these can be removed. So if you decide, actually, I'm going to use that for some other productions, or I might decide I'm going to put some other grain bins, I might decide to put a big grain facility on here, whatever you want to do. I know because I kind of, as I'm working through this, my mind's thinking, if it was me, what would I put on there? What would I use? But obviously, you know, however many people watch this, I'm sure everyone would probably do something different with it. So what we will do is head this way. So if you can imagine, every single one of these will have a sleep and wardrobe trigger. So you can see we've got small sheds and things, all are removable. So everything can be taken away. If you want to extend your fields, plough it all up. Destroy a community. Yay. How cool. No. And there, so that one there's got a triple garage shed on it. I'm sure this had something on the corner plot here previously. I'm trying to remember, because this is based on a real place. I'm sure I looked at the real place on the last map tour, because there was a kennels, wasn't there? I'm trying to think. There was a kennels on the corner in real life when you look on the map. Right, up here. And to our right, we have the bakery. To our left is that plot I said about, just past the trees there. It's got another shed on it. What we're going to do, we are going to obey the street signs because I don't want to get hit by a school bus. Is it turning? Okay, cool. Let's go back up to the main road and we will head north again. Yes, that's what I was saying earlier, because it was kind of late last night and I thought, oh, I haven't got enough time, because I was tired and wanted to go to bed, to do the whole map tour, but I thought I could have a quick check of the crops. And it's not something I always do when I do my map tours and my map prep. A map tour is simply that, it's a map tour, showing everyone what's on the map, what's available, you know, if there are extra crop types and those kind of things, where the sell points are, productions, those kind of things, anything that's new that's been added in. I will often get people who message me a week after and say, were you aware that this didn't work, that doesn't work, or this is wrong, or, you know, no, a map tour is not a deep dive. I haven't put 50 hours on the map, then done a map tour. I'm just doing a map tour showing you what the map has. So I wouldn't normally have tested the crops. It was simply because I was thinking, okay, when I tell people you can plant with this, seed with that, and then harvest with this, because I couldn't work out what I needed to do with the lavender, that's why I took the time, which I wouldn't normally do when I'm doing my prep, and that's when I found that issue with the other crop types. Again, could be me, there could be a whole plethora of reasons, and if people say, well, it's probably a mod conflict, when I do my map testing, other than the government subsidy signs which I've got on this time, when I do my map prep, I don't have any mods selected at all, none enabled. It's just as it comes, unless it's a required mod by the mapper, I don't have anything on, so it's unlikely to be a mod conflict. Vehicle workshop is here with a fuel point here, and we've got an electric charge point round to the side just there. This is not the vehicle shop or reset point, this is just a workshop here, which is curious because of the next location we are going to attend. It's a little bit further up. Does give you some idea, you know, I always say that when you're on big, like American, Canadian, any big map, when you're driving along a straight road and you're going up one field, some idea of the size. And I know people always say, well, it's not a 4x map. I know it's not a 4x map, I'm just saying, it just gives you some idea, and you can only imagine what that would be like on a 4x or a 16x map. So these are the houses I was talking about when you buy these are fencing around them, has planters, all of these can be removed. And I think nearly all of these ones up here have, I don't know if this will be the one that doesn't, does it? Let's just double check. Oh yeah, of course it hasn't. It's got a little shed. But a lot of these had, like a garbage can out the front, which can be removed as well. So if you want to, you can get rid of all of that. Or remove the house, keep the fence, up to you, whatever you want to do. Right, so in here, we have got, to my right, we have got refill points. So we've got refill point solid, refill point liquids, etc. So basically buy points for anything you might require on your map. Fuel point is just to the side here for fuel, and this is the main vehicle shop. Now this also has a curiosity to it. The workshop is down the road there. This is the reset point for the map. You've got this hazard marked area out the front here. Now this is where it's odd. If I come over to here, at the top left, and we come over to here to the vehicle shop icon, nothing comes up for the vehicle shop, which I thought was a bit odd. I can't find anything. I'm clicking L3 as well, nothing comes up. I come around the side here, it comes up with repaint and repair, but nothing for the actual vehicle shop. So that's acting as another workshop trigger. And I did have a wander around, and I kind of back away just in case the icon's there and the actual trigger is offset a little bit. I did wonder if the door opened, if we could go inside, but I couldn't work that out. So as far as this is showing as the vehicle shop, I can't actually work out where the vehicle shop trigger is to into that menu. I mean, you can enter it from, you can come into this menu. depending on your controller, what you're using, I can just press the paddle. We come into the vehicle menu, but it's unusual not to have a trigger. But anyway, yeah. So this has got a workshop trigger, but I can't find the vehicle one. Again, that's not to say there isn't one, but I have had a pretty good wander around and didn't come across one anywhere. So yeah, don't know about that, but this is the reset point on the map as well. Just to, I'm going to ask this question for like an absolute. Is that new part of the 1.7 update? This is the second or third map tour I've done. Now I know we've had birds flying over before, and I've played on Riverbend Springs and playing on Prairie Farm, Michigan. But I don't know why my eye's been drawn to that 2 or 3 times now, and I thought to myself, if that has always been on the map, why has my eye not noticed those before? One of the map tours I did yesterday, it was like geese. They were huge, these things that flew over. No, I'm probably just imagining it. This is the end, people. My demise. Right. So that plot we purchased up here, which I said was like a contractor's yard if you want it to be, farmyard, or again, whatever you want. Again, I could have sworn previous version had animals on it, potentially. That's a Farmer 800 silo, so 800,000 litre standard crop types. That's a base game silo. Shed and storage space just here. And then just across the way, we've got a large silage clamp. And shed space just there as well. Again, all of which can be removed, sold, and you can use the plot for everyone if you desire. Then we come up to the northern point of the map and various different sell points and productions. So, just here we've got the cereal factory. Very nice indeed. Now, we've got cereal factory, we've got oil mill, and we've got sugar mill. Now, each one of these I think is 240 or 280 grand. Let me just double check that. 240, each one of those. Behind it is the grain mill. Now the grain mill is the one that does all the extra crop types, and it's a bigger facility, yes, don't get me wrong. The building size is bigger, and it looks like a railroad silo-esque type thing, but it is the grain mill. Come up here, you'll see just inside we've got the managed production, by production. Prepare yourself, because this, I know, like I say, whether it's because it's a large building or not, but again, you can there are a lot of grain mills about, but obviously this does all the extra crop types. This one, 3.5 million. 3.5 million? 240 grand, 240 grand, 240 grand, 3.5 million. That's a lot of dough. I mean, if you make the flour, probably could make a lot of dough. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it just seems a lot of money to me. I suppose it's giving you a target, something to build up to. But if you want to do flour and stuff prior to that, using all your new fancy crop types. But again, if you've got contracts, it might say your delivery point might be there. So it's a delivery point if nothing else. I'm going to double check the contracts again, because I said contracts are available. There we go. So harvesting. What's that one saying? Poppy. Then we're on to hoeing, so it's only that one. Regular harvester, regular header. Yeah, I don't know. The lavender thing's got me baffled. Anyway, across the way, just here, we've got Blumengart. So we've got Blumengart imports and exports. So sell points, just here. Then around the other side, imports is your warehouse point. So your pallet purchase point is just here. So Blumengart, imports and exports. There you go, imports. And your sell points, that one there. We have got the animal dealer, just here. And then the animal dealer sell point, just there. What's that one? Again, I was prepping this quite a lot. So these are all just sell points. This is part of the Blumengarts, isn't it? Pretty sure that's what we can do. Let's do that, and that, and no, it doesn't give me the option. Check on the map. Because I'm curious now. I didn't write it down on my notes. Don't know why. Oh yeah, animal dealer sell, yeah. So animal dealer sell, and there's the sell point just there. So it was all part of the same thing. So yeah, we've got a trigger there. And there, we've got that one there is sell points. Brilliant stuff. So that's there, animal dealer, and that's. I think that's the map. I think that's everything. Oh no, you know what I forgot to do right at the very start, which is what I normally do. So this is completely in the wrong order, but let's go into build mode. Let's try build mode, shall we? Normally do it at the start. I've got sidetracked. Under sheds, I thought this would be under tools, potential containers, but under sheds, there's a large petrol tank. We've seen a couple of those around the map. So there's the large petrol tank under sheds that's been added in. We come across to farmhouses. As you can imagine, because there are 40 plots with farmhouses on, there are a lot of Gnadenthal farmhouses that have been added in on here. And then I think the other one was... I'm telling you, I don't remember them before. What was it? I've lost myself now. And then the final thing was... Oh yeah, paint textures. I'm sure it said 48. Under here, there we go. Nothing under the decoration or anything like that. But paint textures... There's a few. There you go. To choose from. Don't think there's anything under trees or plants. I think that was all pretty standard. But that's the map. That's Gnadenthal by Iron Thunder. I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then of course, please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.